3 weeks later. So this is a bit reminiscent of the opening of MGS1 and also the opening of MGS3. Also, you know we're playing Metal Gear because that was a juicy man-ass.
I've got a clean visual.
Cyborg man-ass, even.
Yes, I should hope so, huh? I mean, how does it feel to fly like a bird?
Like a bird strapped to a remote control rocket.
We will get you in safely, Tovarich. Just relax and enjoy the ride.
Right.
Can you hear me, Raiko?
Doctor.
Remember the 2 procedures to maintain your new body. 1. Seizing nano repair units from your foes. And 2.
Absorbing their electrolytes. I got it.
That's what all those Gatorade containers on the Nomad were for then, huh?
Electrolytes once you slice them open and extract their fluids.
They're terrorists. I was planning on that anyway.
Do you regularly extract
And their
terrorist
left hands,
fluids?
if you please.
Excuse me?
The combat data stored on holographic memory, typically located in the left hand. That data is very valuable.
So the left hand
I
thing.
am authorized to offer you upgrades and
By the
services
time
in
this
exchange
game
for it.
came out, we were just starting to see some images and
Had the world come down a few years earlier,
things for a
Nobel
future
Prize
title that
original.
also prominently features a robot left arm. A lot of people thought there was going to be some sort of connection there, but there's not, unfortunately. Let's just move this cup out of the way.
Then we have time for a quick briefing.
I know you miss me, Kev, but I've been all over the materials.
That's what you said before Montenegro. Look, just humor me, buddy. Objectives, of course.
You look at that mug,
Caucasus,
the handle,
neutralize
it's a
the
question mark.
terrorists And restore the rightful government, or what's left of
That's
it anyway.
pretty cute.
The president and most of the cabinet have been killed, and a military junta's been established. The terrorists brain-jacked all the high-ranking officers, and their cyborgs scattered the rank and file. The few leaders who have survived have no way of openly opposing the new regime. That's why they called us.
Hell yeah.
Andrei Dolzaev, leader of the occupation forces. An
Got a whole
extreme
little squad
linked to
here.
Both the St. Petersburg massacre of 2015
Again,
and
very
last year's
reminiscent
terror spree
of
in Georgia.
MGS
His
1
arms
and
supplier,
3 in
none
particular.
other than desperado enforcement
Would you believe that this game has a codec and we can call all of our wacky, fun support members on that codec? We'll be doing that shortly. Don't you worry.
Our more immediate problem is Jetstream Sam. Believe you've met.
That's that cool guy.
The only problem I see is that nickname.
No, I think it's a pretty good
I've
nickname.
got my enhancements this time. He won't be an issue.
He may not even be in country, but keep an eye out just in.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Ready for insertion.
that's what he said? I mean, he did just say it. Again, yes, this whole setup very reminiscent to MGS1 or MGS3 with the small vehicle that launches our snake into battle. Of course, now we're Raiden, and also, this thing just kind of fires us like a missile? It's pretty sick. And of course, we get our MGS2 reference there with that pose. Oh man, look at him. Oh, he's so cool. So this was the design that was used for Metal Gear Solid Rising. It was meant to be a bit of a prototype body, but now it's our upgraded body. It's got some nuances to it, as Doctor alluded to. We'll learn plenty about that in the codec calls, because guess what? It's time to do some codec calls. They're actually really good in this game.
First, head inland. The waypoint is marked on your Soliton radar. Contact us on codec if you have questions.
Yep. I also love that too. Immediately talking about the Soliton radar in the codec. It's like we're actually playing a Metal Gear game. Boris, what have you got to say to us?
Control, it's Raiden. I'm on the ground.
Copy, Raiden. Glad to hear it. Entering on foot was the right move. That craft isn't equipped with stealth camo. Or octo camo.
Octo camo.
obviously,
See, we
since
got
that
all
would be
the
useless in
references.
midair.
And we wouldn't want to get your pricey new jet damaged, now would we?
Duh. The MQ-133C was not cheap, Tovarich.
So,
Now,
if
Keep
you
alert.
remember,
According to intel,
I
you could
said
find
I
significant
had
cyborg
some
deployment here.
issues with
If you were to be
MGS4.
cornered by an entire
One
squad,
of
it
them,
might
which
get
seems like a small thing, but actually as it
even
turns out
for
is
you.
pretty large. It's just, yeah, the
Understood.
codec support team
Some
wasn't
fighting
very
will be
good.
necessary,
We only
though.
had Otacon
I've
and
got
Rose to talk
electrolytes
to, and
replenish.
Rose didn't really
This is
have
not an
any
infiltration
funny
mission.
calls, and
There is no need to
Otacon's were
hide or
good,
avoid
but just
combat
they're
outright,
too
huh?
few and far between.
Just do not get
Here we
reckless.
have got,
Stay
oh
safe
my god,
and
we've
stay
got
focused on
so
your
many
mission.
calls we can do. About all sorts of stuff.
There
We'll
is
keep
always
calling
a chance
Boris.
The MQ was spotted before your drop-off. I would not be surprised if hostile cyborgs were already en route to your position.
A little welcoming party wouldn't be so bad. I could use a warm-up.
Ah, Raiden.
Enough with
See,
the
what I
attitude,
say is more
Raiden.
aggressive.
It's time to be serious.
He's ready to battle.
This is no game. I need you to focus. Many people are counting on you, and I don't just mean here at Maverick.
You don't need to remind me of that.
Good. The last thing we need is another clever cowboy shipped back to us in
I'm a
pieces.
ninja, not a
Codec is
cowboy.
fine. Just be sure you are serious on the battlefield. Your enemies will be.
Yes, sir.
Raiden, we are clear on the rules of engagement, yes?
Tell us about him.
Clear enough. I can use deadly force against
So yeah,
any
there's a lot
hostile
of
elements. Hostile
in-universe
cyborgs,
explanation
I
for
can strike
gameplay
first.
contrivance, and I really like that.
Basically,
That's
yes.
very
The
Metal
actual
Gear.
rules of engagement is more
Even though the
specific.
gameplay
A
of
long
this
list
is
of
nothing
notes.
like prior
But you
titles,
have
the
idea.
tone
You want
and use of things in the codec, the types
No
of
weapons
conversations they
prohibited by
have.
international treaty.
Even the
No use
display
of
here
force against non-combatants.
with the kind of
Especially
glitchy
officials
scan
or anyone
lines
with
look. Those are
political
actually
power
3D
who may be
models
needed for
and not
negotiations.
pre-rendered images,
No use of force against any unarmed hostile seeking to surrender.
which I think
No
that's pretty
use of
cool.
force against any non-cyborg combatants without
Very
prior
similar to
verbal
MGS2.
warning.
And that includes Dolzaev?
Duh, but this should not be a problem. Any non-cyborg is little threat to you, Dolzaev included. Besides, we have no signs of any non-cyborg hostiles anywhere in the area.
Well, that's
Not even
convenient.
one. We think Dolzaev is working alone with Desperado here. In any case, that is the ROE. Otherwise, deadly force is authorized only in clear case of self-defense.
Self-defense, so
basically,
parry before I cut
civilians
people
off
apart.
Limits, human hostiles verbal warning, hostile cyborgs anything goes.
Yes, this is a conventional warfare scenario, so the rules are based on the Hague Convention.
Yeah, sounds pretty standard.
I
Still
do
good to
like
list
this
out
though
all the
because it
no-nos
gives you
before
just
things get too hairy.
you know,
ROEs
even
that
though
only
we're
specify
like,
who you
we're
can
not a
engage,
stealth op, but
require too
we'll,
much judgment.
you know,
They make it harder
there's
to remain
rules. There's
focused
rules
on
of
battle.
engagement.
Duh.
But
This
you
is why
can't just
most
run up to a
military's
samurai,
ROEs list negative,
well, a
not
cyborg
positive.
samurai, and
The
start
few that
swinging
take
your
the other
sword.
approach, I pity their soldiers the questions they face. No, and for our purposes, UGs are considered the same as hostile cyborgs.
Oh, that's convenient.
Copy that.
We have no rules about property damage, but keep it minimal.
So there's a.
It just makes us look bad. Anything
That's
standing
the
in your
explanation
way,
for why
trees,
we
street
can't
lights,
cut
this is fine.
everything. Is we don't
But
want to
there's no
look
reason to
bad.
damage
We don't
civilian
want to cut up
homes
people's
or to go
houses.
snooping around in them.
So
Goes
Raiden
without
kind of
saying.
holds himself back in that regard, I suppose. We can still cause a little bit of property damage, though.
You're familiar with your new body now, yes? Then let's begin the warm-up. Slash at something. A palm tree, perhaps.
See? He's telling us to do
You're
it.
familiar with your new body.
And now he's
then
just going to
let's
repeat these. So that's good. That means we've actually gone through all the Boris codex. Let's call
Looks like a
Kevin.
war zone out here.
The palace cleared out quick when Dolzaev's men showed up. The streets got pretty hot after that. We're definitely gonna see a few civilian casualties here. Luckily, it looks like most of them got out of the city before things got bad. They've basically got control of the entire town, and are using the refinery as their HQ.
And that's why we're hitting the plant.
Keep in mind, those cyborgs are contractors. For most of these guys, this is just a job. In theory, once you eliminate their commanding officer, they should scatter pretty quickly.
All right, good to know.
Let's go over everything we have on Desperado.
Roger that. Let's see here. Desperado Enforcement LLC.
Oh, here's
Registered in
some
the US,
here's some deep
Delaware.
cut lore here. Hey, you want to
Makes
talk
sense.
about some
The US
some
doesn't
tax
regulate
havens?
PMCs too closely.
Looks like almost all of their actual business is handled outside
Oh,
the
this
state,
is
though.
good. They get
Says here
real
their
deep in the
financials
lore.
are
It's
handled by
funny
a
that
separate
this
company
game
based in St. Kitts and
had the
Nevis.
reputation of being a
Preferred tax
mindless
haven of megacorps
hack and
everywhere.
slash.
Probably why they
But no,
incorporated in
they-
Delaware in the
they
first place. Loose tax
Did a
laws.
really good job with the
Funneling it all
writing.
through the Caribbean
Helps
must
that
help with the money
all of the
laundering,
lead
though.
writers on
There's
this
still a lot
are
we don't know about them, but they've
from
definitely been
Konami
starting a
and
lot of fires
had
lately.
worked with the series
They're a
before.
PMC in name only. What
I
a
think the
name it
main
is.
scenario was
Just
decided
War
by Platinum, but
Profiteers
all of the
Incorporated was
codecs
taken.
and
But that's their
dialogue and
business.
such
In a
was
nutshell,
handled by
target war-torn nations
Metal Gear
on the road to
veterans.
peace. Reignite conflicts and walk off with all the cash that was earmarked for reconstruction. They also have ties to the drug trade.
No, those are
human
crimes.
trafficking.
Those aren't good.
Sounds like a real class act.
We've confirmed 3 key captains in Desperado. Their code names are all wind-themed.
Oh, of course.
The captain presiding over this coup is called Mistral.
Cyborg?
Yep. All 3 have got custom-made bodies. Collectively, they're known as the Winds of Destruction.
The what? They all have action figures
Unfortunately,
too?
no. Almost all of the
You're
merchandise
one
for
to
this game
talk,
is Raiden.
Mr. Lightning Bolt.
I would have loved
Who
figures of
told
the
you?
entire squad.
Courtney. Now that sounds like an action figure.
I didn't choose it. Trust me.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I doubt the Winds of Destruction picked their names either. Different cultures use language
You want to
differently.
talk about culture and
Even ones with
language?
a decent command of
I
English.
hope so, because we're
As
in a
you can
codec in a
attest,
Metal Gear
Mr.
game. What did you think
LB?
you were going to get? Gameplay tips? I don't think so, buddy.
Looks like a war zone out here.
The palace cleared out quick when Dolzayev's men showed up. The streets got pretty hot after that. We're definitely gonna see a few civilian casualties here. Luckily, it looks like most of them got out of the city before things got bad. They've basically got control of the entire town, and are using the refinery as their HQ.
And that's why we're hitting the plant.
Oh, he already said this one. All right.
How we doing, Courtney?
Guess we
You're
looped
looking
around
good
with
on
Kevin.
GPS and audio-visual feed coming in fine. Energy consumption? Check.
It's funny that they
Damage
loop.
levels? Check. Blood pressure, brain waves, blood sugar? Check, check, check. All this monitoring equipment, I got a better view than if I was standing right next to you.
By the way, if
Anyway,
you couldn't
I'll
tell,
be
that's
saving all
Carrie
your data
Walgreen.
automatically anytime something important happens in the field. But contact me
Another
anytime you
Devil
want a
May Cry
manual
connection, I suppose?
Copy that. Good to hear that.
It's quite a few of those. Unfortunately, we don't get the cool trench coat that Raiden had in MGS4. That would have
Do you
been
want to save?
pretty good. By the way, yeah, Courtney, she's our save girl. That means she's going to nerd out about weird stuff. That's what they do.
Simple, huh?
Copy. And glad to hear you're okay after Africa. That ambush was no joke.
I think Raiden's voice in this game is pretty good for the most part, but some lines, it's trying a little too hard to sound cool. Glad to hear you're okay
I keep
after
asking
Africa. He just
myself,
kind of sounds like a
Why
cowboy
would an
there.
anti-Imani faction get the cash to hire cyborgs?
Kind of funny.
It just doesn't add up. Maybe there's some intel I missed. A lead I should have followed up on. Maybe if I reacted faster or coordinated
Speaking of
better.
sounding cool,
I don't know.
he's going to give us a very
You can't think that way, Courtney.
snake-like
Not in
pep
this
talk to
business.
Courtney here.
You did everything you could. Put it behind you and move on.
You're right. Thanks.
We learn from the best, after all.
Raiden, you need to save? Roger that. Save complete.
I wanted to follow up on our talk earlier about the stress that comes with the job. PMC work can be
Hey, you want to
traumatic,
talk
even
about
for non-combatants.
battlefield
If
emotions
the
and
pressure ever gets
your
to be
psych
too much,
gauge, Courtney?
have one of the ex-military there take over. Just
Can you
I'm
tell
not
that this
doing
game's a
that,
sequel to Metal Gear Solid 4?
PMCs wield massive influence over international affairs. Abolishing SOP.
Oh,
can
SOP.
change
You want to
that.
talk about that a little
We need
bit?
a better understanding of what they're mixed up in. The laws, politics, local cultures. Ex-military aren't here to provide that. They can't. We need civilian voices like mine here too.
you're right. Just take care of yourself.
Don't worry. Africa was more than enough excitement for one lifetime. It's a good thing that limo was armored.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd now be the world's clumsiest cyborg.
Hey! Cyborg Courtney could have been your partner. I thought have saved your ass.
How? By spilling coffee all over the enemy?
Oh, come on. I'm not that... Oh,
Oh,
son of a...
that's why Kevin kept moving her
Please tell
coffee
me that
cup.
was a joke.
What's up? No? Did you need anything else?
No, guess not. Just wanted to hear the sound of your voice.
Oh, save it for your wife, Raiden.
That one's pretty
What's
good.
up?
But we can continue the conversation about SOP if we save, I believe.
Okay, save complete. Don't let your guard down, okay?
Oh, not yet? Okay, that's a little further in. Let's talk to Doctor. He's got a bunch of
Shall
weird
we
shit to
review
say
the
to us.
capabilities of your new body?
He likes our new
that.
body.
Go ahead, Doc.
I love his voice. I
As we discussed,
genuinely,
you've
he's...
been outfitted with two
It's a very
revolutionary new
hammed up
abilities.
German accent, but oh, it's
Fuel
fun.
electrolyte absorption and self-repair
Again, this
from seized
crew feels
nanowaves.
very, very Metal
First,
Gear Solid 1
electrolyte
in that
absorption.
way.
This is simplicity itself.
Everyone's got their
As
own
your
little
HF blade
accent
links
and manner of
directly to your
speech.
fuel
It's
cell,
very
simply
classic.
cut
I
to
like
any
it.
source of electrolytes. Say, a hostile cyborg made up of CNT muscle fiber. And your
So
fuel
everyone
cells
else
will
that says
recharge on
Maverick
their own.
under their
Rather
name, that's to
elegant,
let you know
wouldn't
they're
say?
working with
I would indeed.
Maverick
It's been
Security.
great so
Doctor's
far.
kind of an independent
the repair process is a
contractor, a
bit more,
bit of a nerd that we
involved.
hired to help
A
us
bit
out.
more messy, you might say. Most military cyborg models store a cache of biotic self-repair
He's got a
nanoparticles in their
lot
lower
to tell us
abdomen.
about
So I need to
cyborgs,
slice them open and use
which I
that
appreciate.
to extract it.
I think
Cut
that's
and
really
take, in
cool.
other
I
words.
genuinely
Correct.
like how
Once
deep
extracted, you need
this
only
game
to crush
gets
this unit in your hand
into
to
the
absorb
lore of
repairing
how
agent inside.
the world
Keep
and
in
the
mind, it is extremely
machines and stuff
delicate.
work. It's something
If
that I
the
feel
unit
like
should hit the ground,
MGS4
some paste will surely leak
really
out.
was missing. It
It will still
asked you
repair
to
your
accept
body,
a
but less
lot
so than if you can retrieve
without
it
really
directly
explaining it.
before
But
your foe falls
oh
over.
boy,
Basically,
Doctor here,
harvest their
he's
organs
gonna
before
tell
their
us
body
all
can even
about
hit the
how
ground.
we've got
Rather gruesome, I
self-healing
realize.
nano repair
But then you
paste, and
Americans enjoy a bit of
he's also
gore,
going to talk
don't
to
you?
us about
I
gore
may be a
movies.
citizen, but I've never really thought of myself as American.
Oh?
Oh, this
Yes,
is
I
very
suppose I
big
could
boss of
understand that,
Raiden,
given
what he's
your
about to
history.
say.
But what then? Surely you don't identify as a Liberian.
I don't identify with anyone. No nation. No ethnic group. I'm my own man.
That's
Anyway.
almost
I seem to
word for
recall those
word
gory torture porn movies
a
were
thing
pretty popular
Big
in
Boss
Germany, too.
says. We'll get there in
Indeed. These
the games
splatter
after
films
this,
in
which are all
Germany,
Big Boss
Russia,
games.
Japan, everywhere. Well, everywhere except regions afflicted by actual warfare. It all has to do with taming our fears, you know?
Huh?
The desire to feel fear, to taste death.
So yeah,
But from a
again,
safe
if
distance.
you know,
Friends
we're
allow
what,
the
like
user to delude themselves into thinking they
15
have
minutes into
overcome their
these
fears.
calls here already. That's a
Okay,
lot.
okay, Doc.
And
I
you were
got
getting
the
into all
gist.
kinds of stuff. We're
Let's
getting into
save the
tax
full psych
havens and
lecture for some other
human
time,
psychology and all the made-up science.
So
It's
these
great. It's
self-repair
genuinely
units
great.
And the other cyborgs, they mean they can heal themselves at any time?
Indeed. It is typically a slow process. Not much faster than a regular human body heals a wound.
So this is
And you
important
didn't think it
because a
was good
lot of
idea to give
media
me
just
one of these things?
Certainly
doesn't
not.
get into
We
stuff
removed
like
all
this.
extraneous options in your case
You know,
to
it's like,
maximize
oh, the
power and
cyborg
speed,
gets
you know.
dinged up and that's
Healing
it. But
wounds
no,
is
we've
extraneous?
got
Your
nano
ability to
goop.
absorb the nanopaste agent is far more efficient, Raiden.
Nano goop will
With it,
heal you
your
right
wounds
up.
heal almost instantly.
I know, but
And the standard repair unit, once depleted, is nothing but an empty shell inside you. Dead weight.
We don't want
I
dead
get
weight
that,
in this
Doc, but it
white-haired
also means
sword
I
boy
need to
game.
constantly be grabbing them out of enemies.
No, it doesn't. Don't be silly. Simply avoid taking damage and you will be fine.
Simply avoid it. Raiden, have you considered getting good?
How is your eye, Raiden?
So
Great.
this
My
too,
sight's perfectly balanced between
the
both eyes.
bandana
My
over
vision's
his
improved,
eye
actually.
was part of
Right,
the
right.
Metal Gear Solid
Right, right.
Rising
Your eye
design,
patch houses an
which is
artificial
why
compound
in this
eye
game
unit.
his eye got
The
slashed
unit
by
contains
Sam,
over
and now
200 million
we're
solid-state
explaining what
image
that
sensors, each with its own individual lens.
bandana
200 megapixels,
is.
huh?
It's
Doesn't
essentially
sound
just
like
a
all that much.
gigantic
More
strip
than
of
sufficient for
compound eye
application.
on his face.
A
It's
human's optic
kind
nerve
of
has only
freaky,
about
but
a
I like
million
that they
fibers,
do
you know.
explain it.
Were we to add more sensors, your
They could have
perceived
just
vision
said,
would not
you
improve.
know, well, whatever.
There's only so much
You just
modern
gotta,
image
you're just doing a
compression
sick
technology can do.
Kakashi cosplay, but
So I shouldn't expect any more dramatic improvements.
nope, he's
to
got
my
200
eyesight?
megapixels. You can
No,
see it
your
like
brain would no longer be able to process
120
any more
frames a
visual
second,
information
which
in real
maybe
time.
humans can't even
Still,
perceive. I
compared
don't
to
know.
previous ACEs, yours has 1.4 times the resolution and a superior
We
compression
got compression
algorithm.
algorithms. We don't got to
It
deal
may
with
only
those
result in a slight
those
perceived
Twitter
change,
JPEGs
but it could
anymore.
wind up making the
That's
difference
good.
during
I
mission.
don't like those Twitter
Regrettably,
JPEGs.
I have not
I
had
I
enough time to develop
spend
the
all
eyeball
week drawing
unit
something
just
only to
yet.
upload it to Twitter. Looks
Thus,
like
I've cut
garbage.
out the ability to
Why do
deploy
I
the
even
ACE
draw at
unit
8,000
separately and
pixels if it's
simply
gonna look
install
that
it on a
bad,
fixed
Doctor?
eye patch.
Works for me. If I was using an eye unit, I wouldn't see any better than a regular human.
Ah, but remember, the human eye is so much more than a
I like
simple
this
light
too.
receptor.
Because
They play
even
a
the
vital
science
role in
nerd guy is
person-to-person
telling us, he's like,
communication.
yeah, but you know,
Sooner or later, you'd miss it.
the perception of a
Stuff like
human
that's
face,
important for
it's
some tasks,
what connects
sure.
us, Raiden.
For this op, not so much. And with less moving parts, the lower the chance of something going wrong. Besides, I like it.
Well, I'm
Makes me
very
look
pleased to hear this.
badass.
I can worry about how I look after I complete the mission.
So we can also access VR missions from this menu, but we can also go to Customize. That'll reset our gameplay progress, but we haven't done anything yet, so it's fine. And this is a thing that, you know, there was a tutorial, but the tutorial doesn't really tell us that we have this menu where we can buy skills. It's pretty important. You know what's really important is defensive offense and aerial parry. And we can only afford one now. I'm going to get defensive offense. That's our dodge. Doesn't say anywhere, really, that that is our dodge. It also doesn't tell you how to use it, which is a bit of an issue. All the rest of these we can't buy yet, so we're just going to back out. And as you can see,
You landed safely, da?
it put us right
First,
back
head
into
inland.
gameplay.
The waypoint is marked on your Soliton radar. Contact us on Codec if you have questions.